Hello, everyone. Welcome to the episode of The Beauty of Grey. I am joined by my fabulous co-host. Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
What's up, Jake?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey. So on our episode today, Jake wanted to talk about emotional alchemy. And I'm going to say what I feel the definition of it is, or what I Googled. And it is emotional alchemy is the ultimate psychological leveling mechanism. It is a way of turning the tables on feelings that have potential to overwhelm us, to flip the script, lest the script flips us. It's a meta tool that we use to leverage grace and wisdom into our lives despite emotional turmoil. So, Jake, when you hear emotional alchemy, what is it for you? I don't even know. I had to Google all of this. I was like, emotional alchemy. That sounds very fascinating. And I will say I definitely jumped down a rabbit hole. I've been reading a book, the 7 Hermetic Principles and how to use them to improve your life. It seems like very much like the laws, like the law of correspondence, the law of vibration. Like, and it's fascinating to kind of read into it and how you can apply it to shifting your mindset and maybe like rewiring your subconscious mind. And it's very interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fun thing about emotional alchemy is that it really is applicable to several areas and different groups of life. So, of course, when I first brought it up, I was talking about it in a more, energy / witchcraft standpoint.
Nice.
But if you think about it, anytime that we are practicing meditation, we're doing emotional alchemy, psychology, emotional alchemy, somatic therapy, all of that good stuff.
Shadow
and
work.
Yes, exactly. And
your favorite thing.
Exactly. And especially for everybody who does energy healing and everybody who also maybe practices witchcraft or practices spell work in some way, emotional alchemy is one of the first few steps that you do in all of those processes, that stepping back, tapping in and channeling whatever that energy is. A lot of my friends that are doing Reiki and that are listening right now, a lot of people will talk into that universal love, tap into that universal compassion, all of that stuff. So you're tapping into an emotion, channeling it in, or finding it from within yourself or your experience, and then you're deciding to transmute that into a healing wavelength or a healing space. So it's really just taking any and all emotions that you're feeling and deciding to put an intention to it, wrapping it up in a certain package, and allowing that to drive you to your destination. Good, bad, ugly, awful, it's all great and it's all usable. It really is. And I am a big fan of it. I tell people, get mad and use that. There's anger is like such a beautiful, powerful, and potent tool that we really shame and do not empower as much as we really should culturally. More on that later. But anyway, so yeah, it's all that in a bag of chips.
I mean, I am an energy healer, so I'm an integrative energy therapy master instructor, and it is so true. And for me, it's more of what's embedded in your cellular tissue and what emotions and things are kind of holding you back that are also impacting your energetic layers. And you can't remove something without putting something back in. So if I'm removing heartache, I need to be able to infuse in love. Like we have to be able to kind of shift that energy and not leave you with gaping holes that are just going to fill back in with crap.
Yeah.
But it's like sifting the waters.
Yes.
And I guess for Michelle, how would you apply that to witchcraft?
Oh goodness. I mean,
the hard question for you. Please tell me right now.
Like it's fine. It's fine. I mean, it's when you're doing spell work. I mean, and you have a specific intent in mind. Like, yeah, of course. Like using anger, even though sometimes people tell you not to, but oh well. But like using, like, if something, if you are triggered by something and you have a way to be able to kind of gather that and put it into some sort of spell work that's it brings power to that. It brings a whole sort of a different flavor, so to speak. I mean, there's definitely things that you want to be careful with when it comes to that, because like you can definitely, a little baneful magic there, here and there. Yeah. I mean, if you have an intent to where somebody pissed you off, you know, using that energy can be a wonderful thing.
Yes.
I'm just like,
Or
read
not so
between the
wonderful.
lines. Read between the lines, guys. Read between the lines.
Now,
Just learn your stuff before you do anything. Anyway,
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead,
with
sorry.
safety always. We always want to be
Yes.
safe.
rule number one, know your shit. Number
Yes.
two, but I think that it really leads itself to also being able to use emotions as a powerful tool or as a catalyst of change. The number one thing that you have to do first is have self-awareness. You have to check in
Yes.
first, because
Yes.
you know, emotional alchemy can be so beautiful and potent, but it can also be a modality of self-sabotage, you know.
Absolutely.
So our friends who
Mhm.
maybe aren't doing those check-ins, I mean, the most notorious way, and Michelle, I'm sure you can relate to, is when people say, oh, I'm trying to do love spells, but nothing's happening. I keep hitting a brick wall, or I feel like it's not going anywhere. But even just sitting with them in that conversation for that moment, you can get that sense that, you know, they're coming from it at a place of desperation or out of frustration.
Definitely.
And listen, both of those emotions can be used to turn that situation around, but it's when we
Absolutely.
come at it from a place of I think sometimes when we come from a victimhood mentality, we always have to remember that in any kind of crafting, any kind of spell work or healing section that we're working into, we have to make sure that we're empowering first. You know,
Absolutely.
empower to use power.
Yeah, definitely. I also, it's really interesting that you say that, because like the first thing that comes to mind when um like, and we say it, like all of us say it all the time in any sort of spiritual avenue, where come from a place of gratitude.
Yeah.
Because like coming from a place of gratitude helps tremendously with any sort of working that you're trying to do, or trying to do some sort of spell or anything like that. Because like, even if you are like, because look, like I've been there, done that when it comes to the frustration on the love side of things. But then you really do have to look inwardly and be like, okay, how is this affecting me on it? Like, what am I attracting? You know, like that energy that I'm pushing out, like what is it that's coming back to me? And coming from a place of gratitude, and be like, all right, thank you for not sending me the jerks that you know, like the people that like you don't want to have in your relationships. Anyway, that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Don't send us those jerks. No, thank you.
We don't want them.
So maybe
think,
oh, go ahead, Jake.
No, go ahead.
Like, what would be kind of a, like, if somebody is in despair or frustration or super pissed off, like, what would be a way from them to utilize that feeling and to change it into something that is more empowering? Like, what would be an example of that? Like, you're frustrated, you're feeling hopeless, you're in victimhood. Like, is it doing mindset work? Is it doing an energy healing? Like, what would you feel is the best way to kind of shift out of that? Or is it like you said, it's okay to feel those things? Like, how do you empower yourself with those emotions?
Yeah, sure. So, and I can really relate to that question, because oftentimes when I have used emotional alchemy is when I've been in periods of maybe a mental health dry spell, or you know, it's just in times of burnout, or just feeling like everything and anything is happening all at once. And so for me personally, emotional alchemy, and emotional spell work, I turn to in times of trying to find that balance and reground myself, find my center and perspective in all of this, you know. So I will often kind of just start with, and I work a lot with crystals, so maybe my first priority will be, how do I reclaim my power in this situation right now? I'm not looking to change anything outward right now. How do I regain my power first? And so some of the first things that I'll do always is maybe a quick little visualization, or maybe energetic clearing. And then I'll also think of anywhere, everywhere, anything in between that my energy might have went home with: a person, place, thing, work, situation, a memory. And then I take that back. And then I will also do the same thing for anybody and anything's energy that I might be holding on to. I let that go. You know, the first way, if you are feeling absolutely silly goose mode and just like you don't have your shit together and you're just like, why do I keep feeling this way? Ask yourself, have I been tending to other people? Am I bringing on a lot of stress and not venting it out? Am I allowing some kind of system, person, or organization disempower me in some way?
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, it's a really good way to kind of take the temperature and say, okay, well, if I'm really leaning over to the left in this situation, how do I bring myself back towards the middle? So I'll always start with reclaiming my energy, bringing that all back, and then I'll start to work inwards. So maybe I'll do a lot of work in the root and the solar plexus. I'll work a lot with tiger's eye and maybe smoky quartz. I will also say too, especially when it's a time of frustration or a time that we're looking for clarity, smoky quartz is really, I have such a smoky quartz and I have a really deep and beautiful connection. It has truly been very life-saving for me in my path. So I always tell people, I always recommend smoky quartz. It really just helps us discern and think with clarity. I'll also say snowflake obsidian is a really awesome one too. And then for those who are doing shadow work or really maybe some intense healing, howlite is really awesome.
Yeah,
howlite is awesome for that. Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, it is interesting. The thing that you brought up is kind of really feeling into yourself. Is this me or is this someone else? Because I do feel like, as you know, maybe healers or psychics, mediums, witches, like we do pick up on other people's emotions, and I think we try and pull that in as our own. And we do need to kind of say, all right, I'm going to give this back to you. I'm going to give whatever is not mine. I'm going to please send it back to whomever it belongs to. Because I find myself, and I don't know about you guys lately, but the energy's been really wonky, and it feels like kind of, it's heavy, and it's, for me, I've been feeling maybe more sad than usual. And then it's just like almost like a feeling of loss. And I'm like, okay, Rachel. And I have to, you're right. You got to go within and just say, okay, is this me? Is this something I need to sit with? Is it something that I need to release? And for me, I go into a lot of praying. I do a lot of praying, and I'll be talking to my team and whatnot, and maybe setting up intentions. Like yesterday, I had a shitty day at work, and on the way in, and I feel like this is how I shifted my emotions. You know, I prayed on the way into work. God, angels, universe, help me to have a better day. Like, you know, and it's like, and then I was like, but then I called in, you know, clear away my energy. Anything that I borrowed from someone else, like send it back to them. Anytime I gave my power away, bring it back to me. Shields up. And but it was like, I was grateful for I'm grateful that one, we have these tools that we can tap into and use. And then also trust your inner compass. Is this me? Or is it someone else? Like, or you may even be like, I had a healing last week with this lady, and it was different. And at the end of it, she was like, well, how do you feel? And I'm like, I gotta tell you, I feel a little sad. Like, it was just, you know, and it was different. And I'm still bringing this up because it kind of was like, I don't think I should feel like that after a healing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just kind of, it was an unusual feeling, like that stuck with me. And I think, but then I need to call in my own team and say, okay, let's infuse Rachel back up, you know?
Yeah.
How about for you, Michelle?
I mean, definitely, like my first instinct is to immediately go to shadow work. Just because like that's my comfort level. Like that's where like I am most comfortable. But I mean, even just you're reminding me that like the energies have been a little bit
they've been
wonky lately. And dealing with because unfortunately, you know, sometimes people don't always have the best of intentions, so there can be some energetic bullets sometimes where you're like, okay, what's this about? Where is this coming from?
And some people don't even realize they're doing it.
Exactly.
You know, they don't realize their own power.
Yes. And that can be really difficult to have to deal with, because if they don't know that they're doing it, and you're like, wow, okay, like I didn't, you know. And that's also something that like that's to really think about too, because like that's not always something that you can control. There are definitely, you know, protections that you can put up, and you know, there's obviously like I mean, I've done spell work for that all the time, for myself and for other people, that it's but sometimes if people have somebody has an intent to make something happen, it's gonna happen. Like, so it's always being aware, very self-aware of where you're at energetically and emotionally. That's why I tap into with shadow work, because I feel like that's kind of your first line of defense when it comes to certain things like that. I know it's very specific, but yeah.
No, but it's a very powerful tool to utilize.
Absolutely.
And that's
I also
interesting.
think
Go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
I also think that in the vein of shadow work, because it is something also very near and dear to my heart, and I think is probably the reason why I am who I am today, to be quite honest, which I'm so
Mhm.
thankful for. I try to spread the word all across the land.
I love
So
it.
Do your
now
shadow work.
I will say, yeah, for me in my personal practice, sometimes I have found that my shadow work is a lot from within my mind. So a lot of thinking it through and a lot of kind of coming to my conclusions and finding my peace and finding my healing there. But at the same time, I will also just have a warning to our friends that intellectualize their situations and their feelings and their experiences. Sometimes we will find the rationale between, oh, why did this happen to me? Or why is somebody treating me this way? Why was I hurt in this manner? So we'll think it out in our head. We'll put a logical rationale to it. We'll come to peace with it, but then we don't remember to find that feeling in our body, go fish it down, and then allow ourselves to have that catharsis is what I'm gonna say. That moment where you can just experience that emotion. So if it's anger, finding all of that anger, wherever it comes from and however it appears for you, channeling that into your body and finding a way to really dynamically release that. For me, I love to do drumming. I love to maybe play a really high energy song and just kind of dance to yourself with yourself as a way of just expressing it. In psychology, it's called somatic therapy. So it's allowing the body's PTSD, it's allowing the body's stressors to be released through physical response, through physical stimuli. So it has great value in both the mental health field and also even in the magical field when we allow ourselves to experience things like anger or rage or betrayal. We get to channel that in. We get to release the anger that keeps our truth in a little cocoon. So if someone's really just pissing us off, in a situation, family, work life, and we have to bite our tongue, let's say it's a boss that's really just kind of shooting at you, but you're too anxious to say anything at home, get mad as hell, channel that within you, allow yourself to express it, because after we express that first hurdle, we then begin to come to the anxiety, or then we get to divorce ourselves from that anxiety of expressing our truth or speaking that clearly, because that anger could be masking the anxiety, could be masking the, no, I don't really stand for this, but I'm allowing all of these things that I'm telling myself, all these stories that we tell ourselves, rules that we place on ourselves, hold myself back from expressing my truth. There are several ways to speak your truth without being unprofessional, but sometimes we have to sort through all the other emotions to find those words.
And I also feel like once you work through that person that is, you're having that emotional reaction to, it's not going to feel as reactive. Like you'll be able to kind of, be able to neutrally handle that person, when you work through that. And I will say that's something that, because we all work in kind of high stress environments, and we have people that are going to come across our life where you're like, what the, and then, but then you have to kind of like, for me, I'm like, okay, Rachel, what's going on? Why are you feeling like this? And I love the Jake that you're talking about, like you drum, you listen to, high intensity music, you dance, you feel into it, and you really allow it to kind of maybe pull up more than one emotion. And then how am I going to success? Look at his face.
It's seldom more than just one. So
guys, it could be like, but allow yourself and allow your body to work through the process. And like you both have said, it's okay to allow yourself to feel. You can be really pissed off. You can be angry. You can be sad. You can be, like allow your body is bringing up these emotions for a reason. Like it is something that you need either emotionally, mentally, or physically work through.
Yeah, it's okay to be human. Like I feel like people forget that, especially like in what we do on a regular basis, but just like it's, people I think oftentimes lose sight of the fact that, like, yes, we are these spiritual beings, but we're also having a human experience that is oftentimes very chaotic, and so half the time, who the hell knows what's happening half the time? Like I don't. Like,
amen.
And it is just
amen.
seriously. So it's like feel the feels and then let them the fuck go. Like who
let them
cares?
Yeah.
You know,
but it may
because
take more than one time to do that. It may take 15, 20, 30 times to be like, I'm so tired of that fucking bitch. Like,
yes,
just
there's a reason why I have several playlists on my Spotify. One of them which is my villain era. It's great. I'm telling you. Make a playlist
Please
where
share
like
it.
you just like yeah,
Please
I
share
absolutely
it.
will. Like it's just one of those, it's every single song that like it's just that you just get angry. It's wonderful.
Yeah, for me, I'm listening to Nine Inch Nails. I'm like,
yeah,
like,
yeah, like whatever makes you, yeah, whatever
as
like
my
gives
dog's
that
getting all
visceral
feisty.
reaction.
The one thing I
love
do
it.
want to bring up, and I found this today, was ways to alchemize emotional pain into hope, happiness, and love. And I kind of liked how they kind of broke this down. And one of them was unleash the screaming artist within. So let that angry bitch out, let that, toxic sister go, whatever it is, rise up, speak out, and let your story heal the way. Transform its life force into something else. So Jake, that's like you in the drumming, or maybe you plant it into a garden, build something with your hands, move, express, unburden, and release. Hand it over to the universe, the unseen magic of the universe, so that you guys may be doing your spell work, and maybe it's energy healing and whatnot. And write the letter you've always wanted to receive. And maybe for me, when I read that, I was like, oh, because we hold on to, I think, sometimes people that have hurt us, and we're maybe never going to get closure on it. We're never going to get that, I'm really sorry I ghosted you, or I treated you like a piece of shit and you were shit on my shoe. I apologize for all the cussing. I guess it's the emotional alchemy trying to get out. But you know what I mean?
Alchemize it.
Alchemize it!
Exactly.
But it's like really write that letter and just really let it go, let it rip, and just really get all of that out of you. And I would imagine how much power and transformation and catharsis and energy healing that would just bring to you. Just be like, let that shit out, let it go.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to speak your truth too. I mean, like Jake said, be professional, but I mean, be okay with also maybe telling your friends, because I do think sometimes we hold on to things that when our friends have hurt us, or maybe our family has hurt us, that we should feel comfortable and be like, Michelle, Jake, Rachel, but you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, like maybe we did something to slight someone and we may be unaware that we did that, because we all perceive and take in things differently, and we all have different coping mechanisms to kind of heal ourselves.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And then again, it even just comes back to that self-awareness, because I mean, listen, it is a known fact, the things that we think are not necessarily true, or are not necessarily true for us. So, we might spin several narratives, or we might tell ourselves a version of a story, and we might be resisting a certain part of that truth. So let's say, I'm having a feeling of heartbreak, over a relationship, where I'm having this really just toxic exchange with a family member, and we just keep going around in circles. Take a step back with yourself, and really don't be afraid to host a spotlight for yourself, where you get to ask yourself questions, really get to kind of tap into yourself and be like, why am I so angry about this, or why am I so hurt by this person? Is it really about, not being invited to this important event, or is it about something that I blame them for years ago, or is it about something that I find find not agreeable about them? There's always more. Yes.
But you know what? It's so true, because there'll be times where I'll be so pissed off at someone, and they could have done something so minuscule. It is not that big of a deal. And it's like, why? And I have to look within and be like, Rachel, get a grip. Like, what is going on here? Like, why? Like, even say, I'm like, my blood is boiling. Like, it's like, what is going on? And you're right. It's sometimes it's an accumulation of things that just pile on. And, if maybe I were drumming or letting it go, it wouldn't be so monstrous to get out of me. That's interesting.
I think that we even just, in many times I find myself doing this to myself, that I try to think too cordially. Like, homegirl, nobody else can hear the thoughts in my brain, this little noggin over here, so if I'm like, God, that guy's a douche, like, it's okay for me to think that, and I'd be like, no, I don't really think that, it's whatever. but
Exactly.
don't actively kind of change your narrative to sound more agreeable. If you're mad about something, you could be mad about something. Or if you have a
Exactly.
little tug from the ego and you think something a little bit selfish, it's okay, you're a human being. But it's the
Yes.
times where we kind of refute that and we kind of shame ourselves for having that thought. They're fleeting,
It is
intrusive
true.
thoughts even.
Exactly.
We can't own every single thing that passes through this river. It's a little.
But it is
Yeah.
true. And you're right. We are allowed to feel the way that we want to feel, but we also
Yes.
need to use our tools to kind of work through that, to
Absolutely.
alchemize it
Absolutely.
to something more empowering.
Yes.
I feel like
Exactly.
we're in like a 70s fitness VHS. Alchemize it.
Nice. Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Love it.
Yes, I could see it now.
That's awesome.
Jane
I love
Fonda
it.
is going to be on our next call. Hello.
That would be amazing.
Like
Okay,
Jane.
Thanks, Jane.
we can do a fitness
I love it.
episode, but all of my fitness is going to be horizontal.
Mm.
Jake is being naughty.
No, I meant like seated, preferably laying down. I could do a little
No,
ankle
he
twist. I
wasn't
don't
being
know.
naughty. I was.
Listen, Rachel just jumped down that hole right with you, so it's all good. I love it.
Y'all are sick.
Oh,
Y'all are sick
yeah.
and demonic.
You know what? You are raising up some
Yes.
negative emotions inside of me, and I'm gonna tell you, Jake, stop being so fucking judgy.
I love it. I immediately just accept it. Like, yes, like sick and demonic. That checks.
Here I am
You're
being
just like,
offended.
yes, I live.
Wow. Okay,
Hey,
well, on
that's also
that note,
something,
Michelle,
we're fine.
not Jake.
Yes.
You have some things up and coming that we would like to share with the listeners. So I know that can you please tell us what's up and coming for you, my friend?
Can you please
Well,
tell us?
I have.
Please tell us.
So, coming on June 8th and June 22nd, I am hosting. It's kind of the start of a new series of classes that I've been wanting to do.
Nice.
Basically, witchcraft so it'll be this. The first one is going to be witchcraft and mental health.
Beautiful.
Which I will be hosting alongside a very dear friend of mine, who is in the mental health profession. She's a licensed therapist and amazing, and I love her. But like we are going to be talking about shadow work and just kind of different like grounding exercises in order to kind of get through how it all correlates to witchcraft and how you can use it in your day-to-day life. And like it's it's not going to be like this isn't a group therapy session or anything, but we are going to get to the deeper side of things and talk about that. And
so if anyone is interested in taking that class, first of all, where is it being held?
It'll be at Reiki Rocks.
Reiki Rocks Crystal
Yay!
Shop. And the best way for them to sign up for it, do they go to
Yes, they can go right onto Facebook or Instagram. Beware Bad Omen on Instagram and just Bad Omen on if you're friends with me on Facebook, just either friend request me or whatever, and the event will be right there.
So I love that witchcraft and starting with mental health, but it's going to be a series that you're going to be
a series
partnering something else with it. That's perfect.
So we're going to be we'll be talking about like witchcraft and religion, witchcraft and like in social in media and that type of thing, like movies and that type of stuff. So yeah, it'll be fun. I'm excited to start. So
do you have anything else that's going on that you would like to share with the listeners?
Yes, actually, I'm going to be doing my second, I'm going to be putting out information for the second tarot course.
Perfect.
So we finished up I finished up my first class. I actually combined my second class with the first one. It just seemed appropriate. But they love it so much that we're now having a tarot club every other week.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So like if you want to sign up for tarot club, you got to sign up for the tarot class first, and then you'll be part of tarot club, and then you can come every other week and bother Tony, like because she just loves all of my tarot people.
She's like, guys, I've had enough of these readings. No.
She's just like, I can't deal with this anymore.
I get it. I'm abundant and I'm amazing. Thank you. I get it.
I need it.
I get it.
Oh my god. So amazing. It's so great.
Anything else? Michelle, aren't you starting to sell some stuff on your website?
Yes, I love it. They're just like prodding that. So I
what I do. No,
I have been working on a tarot deck.
Ooh.
And I've recently been trying to make a big push on it because I want to get it done. So I have a few finished cards that I am now selling as prints, and as well as, like, you know, if you want a hoodie with a certain print on it, or a t-shirt or something like that. I have all the information on my Facebook and also on my Instagram. So you'll expect to see more of that, and then hopefully by the end of the year, the entire deck will be done, and then I'll have a tarot deck.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's so exciting.
That's really exciting.
Yeah,
it's really amazing.
It's a lot of fun. I'm also working on an oracle deck, but that'll come out as a little companion to
that's beautiful.
the tarot deck eventually. So
it's gonna be amazing.
Thank
I can't
you.
wait till
I'm
it
looking
comes
forward
out.
to it.
Jake, anything you would like to share besides the fact that your co-hosts are demonic? Devils?
You're welcome.
Yo.
Not particularly.
Do you have a gallery reading coming up, or no? Has it been rescheduled? Or
did have a gallery reading, and then I got food poisoning, which was fun.
Oh no!
No, it wasn't that bad. It was, you know, it was the second best I ever went on. So my other things that are coming up are I am going to have dates at Reiki Rocks, I'm sure, next month. So stick out and look on her Facebook page.
Love it.
I am always available for private readings, even though I look like I'm dead on social media.
Not true.
Never.
Even though I have the social media presence of a missing persons.
Well, I will say that with the many shows that Jake is on with me,
yes,
Jake, you're not as dead as you look. Thank you very much.
Hi, that's my brand. I'm not actually dead.
Guys, I'm a spirit.
I'm not actually dead.
I'm a spirit. Those are people too, Rachel. Stop being so fucking judgy.
Wait, okay, but coming back as a spirit that still does readings and has the business.
That'd be awesome.
Ghosting and girl bossing. Michelle will have to channel me.
I love it. Yeah, I was just like, yes.
That'd be so cool.
Oh my God. I'm all about
Anyway, Jake, what is the best way to reach you? Is it through Facebook Messenger? Is it through Etsy? What's the best way to reach you to book a reading?
Yes, reach out to me through Facebook because Etsy is diabolical. Facebook Messenger. So my Facebook page is Jake Paul Readings.
Jake Paul Readings.
Or is it Readings by Jake? No, it's Jake Paul Readings. I promise, I swear. And that is the best way to get in contact with me. And I think my Instagram is Readings by Jake. I answer both of them.
Love it. Love it.
Yay.
I love it. And if anyone gets in contact with Rachel, you can see me at Lilydale next month on June 25th. I am teaching a Empower Your Empath Gifts and how to read the Akashic Records and how to do your own mini readings. And I also will not be at Tony's shop next month. And Jake and Michelle will be, but not Rachel.
Yes, anyway, I will be at some point. I have no idea when, but some point.
I know she's always like, guys, what's your date? I'm like, I don't know.
I know. Like,
when does Jake have it? When does Michelle have it? When does this person have it? When do you want me to come?
I love it.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap up our alchemizing our emotions?
I've been really liking Iron Chef lately.
Oh.
I love Ted Lasso.
Who the hell is Ted Lasso?
I'm fucking done.
I swear to God, no. There is a conspiracy. There is a deep state conspiracy that's happening. You were the fifth person that has mentioned Ted Lasso today.
Okay, let me tell you something. On Apple TV, there's a show called Ted Lasso that is Jason Sudeikis is on it. And it is honestly the issues and the emotions that they cover are so amazing. Like they jump in with like, you know, you leave there like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't know. Michelle, do you watch it?
I actually, I've heard of the show, but I literally just saw a whole clip yesterday with it's like amazing. Something with darts and whatnot.
Oh yeah, he like school. Oh
yes. I was like, this is amazing. Why am I not watching the show? Like,
it's an amazing show. I think they're in the third season, and it's just all of the issues that they cover in it between like, your sexual preferences, being bullied, being shamed, not feeling good enough. Like they just do it, like going through divorce, like just they do it in such a compassionate and loving way. It's okay to have therapy. It's okay to talk about your feelings. They talk about panic attacks. Like it's just, and Jason Sudeikis is so funny. Like it's just the way that he talks in the show is just, he's so inspiring. It's just, wow. Jake, you guys are missing out.
I guess I'm gonna watch it.
You have a choice now.
What other shows you're watching besides Iron Chef? What is the secret ingredient? Is that show, or is that something else?
What's the secret ingredient?
Do they do that in that show? Is that an Iron Chef?
Like a theme? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Listen, I don't know. Clearly, I don't watch it.
Girl, I don't know. I have ADHD. I don't even remember what it's about.
But you're
oh my god, I'm so excited. Kitchen Nightmares is coming back after a decade of being off air.
No.
Everybody, I am the whistleblower and I'm here to tell you.
No.
I am so excited.
Okay. Gordon Ramsay, I freaking love him. That's the only those are the only shows my son and I will watch together. I love the hotel ones. Kitchen Nightmares.
Yes.
You just made my night. Okay, well on that note, because Jake just turned us our whole evening into joy. So Kitchen Nightmares is coming out, and catch all of us at Reiki Rocks Crystal Shop or online, and everyone have a great night. Bye Jake. Bye Michelle.
Bye.
Bye.